Hello and welcome to the brand new Blues Focus match preview. This will be a brand new series where we preview our upcoming fixture, just kind of quick little rundown of things just to get you informed and ready for the game and just get you up for it a bit, so it's something to watch pre-match. I think we've done short preview-esque things before on the channel, but we're looking to make this just more regular, kind of an easy watch for any viewers that might not be able to watch our lengthier content, e.g., our podcasts. So no, it's kind of just bringing you a bit more kind of short and snappy content. But if you enjoy it, please drop a thumbs up. Let us know down in the comment section what you think, and let's get straight into it. Looking forward to this one. So I think let's start with the home side. What should we expect from Huddersfield Town? Um, they've definitely obviously they've brought in Carlos Corberal to kind of adopt a bit more of a different identity to what they've had in previous years. Similar to Blues with Aitor Karanka and previous managers. Huddersfield want to bring that. Well, essentially want to bring the ball down to the ground and play a bit more free flowing attacking football. Prettier stuff, really. Now, me personally, I don't care how Blues play, just as long as we win. But unfortunately, a lot of modern owners don't see it that way. They want to be entertained by what they watch, which they have that right. They're a fan in a sense, but they also own the club, so it's their decision. But I think there was there was a lot of positivity around the appointment at the start of the season for Huddersfield, and especially at the beginning of the season, they really looked to already be in that shape and style, and it looked like they could really push. They'd made some nifty little additions, nothing major. I think there was a few positions that they should have strengthened and didn't, e.g., goalkeeper, as they are currently relying on youth product Ryan Schofield. So I suppose that kind of brings us on into a bit of a team preview. They've played a few formations this season, particularly formations such as a 3-4-3 or a 4-3-3. So definitely very modernised attacking formations. And if they play that way against Blues, we could be in trouble because our defence hasn't been it's been on and off. I think, when certain players are in the back line, we play better. It's a shame to see kind of George Friend out the side at the moment because I do think we defended better in games with him in the squad. But having said that, we'll get onto that later on when we talk a bit more about Blues. But just back to Huddersfield, um, it always seems to be a draw against Huddersfield when the two sides play each other. But I reckon this game could be very different, especially from a Huddersfield perspective, as they're trying to play more attacking football. And if a new style or shape, or if you want to turn around your form, the team you want to play is Blues. So I do think they'll be coming into this game with a lot more positivity than they've had in previous matches. But the thing with Huddersfield so far this season, their form has been so on and off, and they've had some really heavy defeats. But you look at their wins, they're against impressive sides by quite some margin. So you never know what Huddersfield team you're going to get on the day. But I think one of their biggest problems right now is their defence, and that is huge for Blues. Um, they have a lot of injuries. Injuries in particular for Huddersfield. Harry Toffolo, left back. Eating, he's the centre mid who they got on loan, who I've heard a lot of good reviews about. Promising young little Dutch prospect. And then they've got one more injury that's failing to come to me. That was it, Christoph Schindler. So pretty sure he's their club captain actually. Centre back. He's been there, done that. Got them to the Premier League, did all right there. So a solid defender. So that's brilliant news for Blues, really, that they're missing such a key player like that going into the game on Tuesday night. So big plus for Blues. However, you still look on paper, they've got some decent defenders in there, like Saar and Keogh, who've been in decent championship sides, particularly Keogh. But they do have some nifty players in there, like, Dwayne Holmes, Fraser Campbell always seems to bag against Blues, so he'll be a danger. I do believe that Ward is also injured for Huddersfield, um, who's, he's had a tendency against scoring against Blues. Pretty sure he's scored against Blues for Rotherham and Cardiff before. So, they've got strikers that can do it against us, unfortunately. But luckily enough, one of them's injured. However, Campbell is probably the more dangerous of the two. So, they'll look to utilise him. But he has played a lot of games this season, could be one of the more tired players. But they have recently just signed Yaya Sanogo from, he's free agent, but he was an Arsenal youth product. Seemed all right, kind of coming up through the youth ranks. So that could be a good asset for them in particular. Another big boost for Huddersfield is the return of Isaac Mbenza, who scored in the reverse fixture against Blues. Beautiful free kick to equalise in the match. And it looked like it was going to end another 1-1 draw. Classic Blues Huddersfield. But Dukey obviously popped up with the winner. And that was our second home win of the season. And we've only just got our third in our last match. So that tells you all about our form. But no, so Huddersfield definitely expect a more attacking threat than defensive threat, which will lead me on to predictions later on what I think, how it could pan out. But just quickly looking at Blues first, we've not got any significant injuries other than Sam Cosgrove, who's not really actually broken into the squad since he signed. So, it's not too bad. But I do think it's quite simple for Blues. I do think we'll play the same lineup that beat QPR. Only possible change that wouldn't surprise me is maybe the introduction of Alan Halilovic. But I think Karanka is still in the phase of beginning to trust him as a player. So I don't think we'll see him start, but I do think we'll definitely see him included in the second half. And so he should be after that wonder strike against QPR. And, he also turned the game around at Wednesday, provided the pass to Bella, who then assisted the goal for Scott Hogan. So whenever we do play Halilovic, he changes the game. He's a key player for us. So, I do think he might deserve a starting position at some point, whether that's tomorrow or another time. But he's definitely growing. And I think we've been waiting to see that for a while now. And it's finally coming to the forefront. But we'll see. So no, I expect the same lineup as the last couple of games for Blues, really. Wouldn't surprise me if San Jose was brought back into the fray on the bench, to be honest. I feel like, he was kind of cast out as a bit of punishment for recent poor performances. But you never know how he could train. However, Aitor Karanka, before this recent consistent lineup picking, has been a man of the bingo machine, as we've spoken on the podcast. So no, it really wouldn't surprise me if we kind of just out of nowhere decided, let's play 5-3-2 or something random like that. And, you never know with Blues. But I do think in this game in particular, we should really look to proper go for Huddersfield because their defence isn't strong. It's definitely their weakest point and they're letting in goals for fun at the moment. And don't get me wrong, Blues aren't the best defensive side in the league, but on our day, we can keep the door shut. So I definitely think we need to look to do that. We need to be confident. And I think the sooner we get at them, the better. The better start we have, the better. It's similar to the Blues mentality, If they concede one, I do believe their heads could go down. However, Blues do the same. So I think we are looking at two very similar sides who are looking to adapt different philosophies. Both, funnily enough, Spanish-esque philosophies moving on into the future. So I do think this is quite a similar match tomorrow, but it is a 6-pointer for both sides, which leads me on to, I suppose, form a little bit, just quickly before we get into predictions and how the game might pan out. Form-wise, Huddersfield, it's 1 win in their last 6, and I think 1 draw. It's not been pretty, but neither has it been for Blues. But fortunately enough, we have had a bit of luck recently, and we are doing better in the form table than they are. I think our form at the moment is obviously 2 wins in 6, 1 draw in there maybe. So no, I do think Blues are on a little bit more of an upward trajectory than maybe Huddersfield are. However, Huddersfield do have more points than we are, and that kind of brings me on to how the game could plan out. Obviously, if Blues win, we will go above Huddersfield. If we draw, then we'll stay below them. But I do think a draw is the worst possible result for either side. Um, well, I wouldn't say worst possible, actually. I'd say more frustrating. But Blues certainly won't want to lose. That's the main thing for us, to be honest. And it is away from home. However, I do believe we've played better away from home this season than we have at home. And we've already beaten Huddersfield at home this season. So that's definitely a positive to take into this game. We can look to utilise that experience of already getting one over them this season. However, Huddersfield will be no pushover. We can't expect to just go to their place and waltz a win. And I think that's the worry a bit with Blues. We don't want to ride the positivity of the last win too much and expect. I do think the players are starting to adopt that every game's a cup final mentality now, which is great to see. That banner has worked wonders since it was put up outside the training ground. So let's hope that form and consistency starts to build and continue a bit more. And then we can really look to be positive about this game and future upcoming games. But this is kind of the biggest 6-pointer we have for a little while. We've got some tough games coming up after this game, but then Blues do tend to perform better against the biggest sides. So who knows? But the bottom line is it's a must not lose for both sides. But Huddersfield probably aren't the most fancied team right now, but this is an ideal fixture for them to maybe bounce back, and especially with the addition of Sonogo, who, would it surprise me if he bagged his first Huddersfield goal against Blues? No, not at all. Um, but having said that, I do think Blues will be on a high right now and can really look to take this game by the scruff of the neck and get the 3 points. Because if we do, I really think we can look towards building up to a safe, low mid-table or just standard mid-table finish, and kind of ride out this up and down season that's been filled with worry, unfortunately. So I hope for our sake we can really build on the past couple of results we've had and a decent performance against Norwich before the substitutions were made. However, that brings me on to the substitutions again. They worked against QPR. I don't think many expected them to. I remember being shocked myself at the players he brought on, but clearly Mark Roberts is a newfound left winger, and he did score against Huddersfield last season. So, Mark Roberts worldy incoming. Let's hope, shall we? But I suppose just to kind of look to wrap things up, predictions. Um, See, whenever I predict Blues to win, it never normally plays out well for me. I think you look at this game and it has all the makings of a high scoring draw. We do tend to suffer a bit worse off against the lower sides in the league. But this cup final mentality we've got recently, I really think we can look to get at least something from this game, whether that be a point or all three. But I'm going to back the boys. I think that's the positivity. Positivity is the key, and we've all got to back them now in whatever way we can from behind the scenes, because obviously we can't be there. So no, I'm gonna say 2-1 Blues. And I'd take it, to be honest. It could be 2-1 or 3-1. I'm feeling confident about this one, but I don't want to get too ahead of myself because I do think Huddersfield could easily turn us over if they turn up on their day, as we've seen against the likes of Swansea, because what a result that was for them. And we've shown that their football on its day, even against the bigger sides, it can work. So we need to prepare properly. And I have full faith that Aitor Karanka will do so, as he is an experienced manager, despite criticism he's received this season for certain changes, and it's deserved criticism. But I do think he will prepare properly for this game, or at least I hope so, as it's his job. But I have faith that Blues should come away with at least a point from this game. But I am going to look towards the positive side and definitely back Blues for all 3 points. But let's hope it turns out that way. But definitely do not write off Huddersfield based on their form, because there is quality in that side on its day. But no, thank you for joining us again for another video on the Blues Focus channel. If you enjoyed, please let us know. It means more than you know. Just dropping a like or a comment, it's really great to see. And if you're feeling extra nice, then get looking at that Patreon page. You know, it's only £1. We're not asking for too much, but no, obviously, even if you don't, we still love any viewers that we have, and just so long as you enjoy the content, that's the main thing. And if you've enjoyed this match preview, please let us know. It's definitely a series I'm going to be bringing to you regularly, because I just think it could be a nice, easy watch for viewers. So no, if you have enjoyed, just feel free to let me know on any socials either. Anyway, that's it from me today, guys. Let's hope for a positive result and really turn our season around in this massive 6-pointer on Tuesday night. Thanks for joining us again. As always, keep right on, and I'll see you in the next one.